You'll notice that today I'm wearing my Help Me to Look Intellectual glasses. That's because we're talking about writing. I've long been a believer that top-performing experts in any industry tend to write books and articles quite prolifically. Early on in my own speaking career, I approached a top-level agent and I asked, what is the number one thing I could do to set myself apart? And she unhesitatingly answered, write a book. I did so, and I've been doing so ever since, and it has made a huge difference in my career. It opens doors with the media, it creates credibility, and of course it's an additional source of income. Now, let's talk about the business side of publishing books. Listen to what I said to this audience. Quick insight based on Stephen King. When he started writing, he wrote under two different names. The first was his own, which really is Stephen King, and the second one was under a pseudonym. Does anyone know it? Yeah? I'll give you the first name, Richard.
Sorry?
It's Richard Bachman.
Yes.
The Bachman books. A couple of years ago, I picked up a Bachman book titled The Long Walk, and it's vintage Stephen King. It's brilliant. It will haunt your dreams for weeks after you put it down. Interesting thing is, it flopped in the US market. It sold 20,000 copies in the first year, which by US standards was dismal, and by Stephen King standards, unheard of. Then something interesting happened. The readers of these Bachman books started thinking, this sounds an awful lot like our hero. And they outed him. They discovered that this was actually Stephen King. And in his book on writing, Stephen King describes Richard Bachman as dying of cancer of the pseudonym. So they got rid of Bachman and they republished the same book under the name Stephen King. And in half the time, it sold 200,000 copies. Same market, same man, same product, same book. 10 times the sales based on the name. There is equity in being the big name in your industry. Now, as speakers, this is what we're interested in. We're interested in the idea that your books build up your name as a speaker, and your name as a speaker gives credibility to your books. It works in both directions, and that's wonderful for us. We want that dynamic, and we want to keep prompting it and growing it.